like a shot in the dark, my heart, it goes crazy. Too much symmetry, fall into it. I wanna drift asleep, tangled in your sheets. I wanna hear you say
Music
my
licensing
name
reimagined.
forever. Tell me I'm ecstasy, everything you need. I wanna know you'll chase me to the clouds. I can see it in my head, it's better than the others. I know it could be the best, yeah, I could be your lover. You don't cross my mind cause you're living it. If you were all mine, it'd be baby, let me love you, yeah, I wanna be your lover.
Artlist.io.
Motion falling in.
Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for listening in. I love you guys. Thanks for the love so far. And if it's your first time here, thank you for coming. I bet you need to enjoy it here. My name is Adedoyi, and on this channel we talk about lifestyle, God, marriage, motherhood, sewing tips and everything in between. So I've been getting a lot of messages about my relocation process, and today I brought my husband so we can discuss about the process and the PR journey for you guys. Today I have someone special here, my husband. So introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm a special guest. My name is Ido. People call me ID for short. So yeah, I'm just here to talk about the migration process and the PR journey.
So note, we are not an immigration expert. We're just here to tell you our own experience so you can learn from it. So let's discuss when and why we decided to migrate to Canada. Firstly, I'm this kind of person that I never had a mind of traveling or relocating to another country. I know my friends watching this, they know that I used to say very well that I can't cope with the food, the weather, I don't like cold and all. I feel it's because I don't have the right information as at that time, or maybe I don't have the right information. My whole mindset was just, let's go there for vacation and come back to Nigeria to enjoy. But when I got married, I realized that my husband has this dream of leaving the country, and as a woman, I guess I have to align to his dream. And this dream that he has is not a bad one. So I have to align. And you can't get married or have an husband that you can't have the same dream or share the same idea. That means the marriage will not work. And during the process, I realized that it was a good idea, and I got the right informations, the right reason. I saw reasons to relocate, and I agreed to. Tell us when and why you decided to leave the country, to leave Nigeria.
So the dream has always been, far back as when I was in secondary school. I've always had this, mindset that I would probably travel for education abroad, probably get a scholarship. But after some time, that did not really happen. And then in 2014, I was already working then. A couple of colleagues at work traveled to Canada, and then I started making inquiry about how you're going to get the process done. What are the things to do? How do I get myself migrated to Canada? At the time, I was not married yet, so it was basically me relocating to Canada far back, in 2014. At the end of the day, when we got married, the dream sort of became just not one person's dream, became a family dream.
Yeah.
So we started talking about it, like how do we go about it, especially knowing the kind of the economy we were in Nigeria at the time, insecurity, inflation, school fees. I think the one that was most important for us was the education of the children.
Yes.
We thought about it, how much we were paying at the time. We were paying close to about 200 to 300 ish for a class they call Start Right. Yeah, just starting, so to say, I don't think daycare. And then we were thinking about how she was going to get to kindergarten, how she was going to get nursery and primary school. How much are we going to be paying at the time? So we thought about it and we said, is it going to be sustainable? Will our job be sustainable? Will our earning be sustainable? Mind you, we are just barely getting to the middle income earner. We are not even there. So we are just earning like, normally. So we sort of collected all these points together. My own personal dream of traveling abroad, the education sort of influenced her, the education of the children in the long term. How do we cope? How do we ensure we give them the best opportunity in life? I think that's more critical. The kind of opportunities that we do not have,
Yes,
can we give our children this opportunity? So those were the motivation that were driving us all through. I don't mind my children having two Bali, Nigeria and Canada. They can decide to stay anywhere they want. It's their own choice. All the only heritage I can give them, the only gift I can give them, property I can give them is making them dual citizens, and that's what we are doing.
And let us tell you the truth, the process is not easy. And it's not like you're starting today, you're getting it tomorrow. It takes time, it takes a lot of determinations, a lot of what would I put it again?
Perseverance,
so it just
long suffering,
and it takes a lot of savings.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of savings. You have to do a lot of exam and all. So but I just believe that you can start gradually. You just have to start gradually from somewhere. You don't have to have the big money before starting. You just have to start little by little, and before you know it, it becomes reality. So let's talk about the journey. So we got married 2018, and I remember after we got married, my husband was like, "Babe, you need to go and do your passport." I don't have a passport because I didn't have interest of traveling, So he told me to go get my passport. I think I did my passport in Ibadan then. That was maybe after we got married. We got married in August. I did my passport in September. I think I got it by November or so. And December, I think in December, before December, we did my West. Because I think he has done his West even before we got married. So we did my West and we were at home. I think it was during our honeymoon. So we did my West, then we did it with someone in my school then. We didn't have to go to the school. We did it, and the person mistakenly sent it to his office. Can you remember?
Yeah.
And someone in the office opened the West. My husband was so mad at the person, like, "What is it for you?" Because he saw the school name and thought the girl or the lady thought it was for her. And my husband was so mad at that. Like, "Why will you open my letter? Is it for you?" Then you have to do and down because
I was not mad in front of that.
no, at home, you have to see me at home. So and normally. Funny thing, we are not even supposed to send the West to the office because I didn't know how the guy got the address of my husband's office, or maybe he asked for the address and just sent it to the office. We were supposed to send directly to the West.
Exactly.
To West. So that was the first, like, what is this? So later we did it and it was successful. I did my West. Then in 2019, I did my English test. So I did my English test in 2019 and I was pregnant. I was 7 months pregnant. That was April 2019. I was so heavily pregnant. I would go for a lesson. Come on, that lesson. Babe, sorry, that lesson. I was on this thing because I was tired. Well, I would still go. Then after.
But I didn't force you to do
You didn't force me, but I need to because I didn't understand what this is all about. So I need something. I need someone to teach or to learn from someone. So I used to go to the class. Tired. I think the school was upstairs. So as a pregnant woman, once I just climbed the staircase like this, that was all. So I got tired, but I was still determined to write this. But funny enough, I passed. Though I did have the
not elevated
score, but I passed, and my husband was so surprised. You passed. I said,
No. I was not surprised like that. The pregnancy, I was like, that was a good job. Like, pregnant, I recall like twice or three times I followed you and you had to walk up the stairs, and after walking up the stairs, like, how do you even manage to concentrate and stuff? I think personally, what you just got from that particular tutorial was just a guide as to, how will this flow, right? You did every other thing you did by yourself. So it's a good job.
And I remember that during the exam, because I was pregnant, and the lady that was in charge was like, "Are you sure you want to write this exam? Because we will not allow you to go out. We will not allow you to go and ease yourself." I was like, "Don't worry."
I can't even remember if I followed you.
You were in the car park. You were not allowed to.
Of course.
So there was one school in the Ikeja that we did it. So the lady was like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Because they will not allow me to go out. They will not allow me to ease myself. And as a pregnant woman, you're always easing yourself. At that point, 7 months pregnant already. So I did it. I was surprised. I was not even feeling. I was not feeling anything. I did the exam. I think it was 45 minutes. We have 45 minutes each for a paper, and I have like 4 papers.
Yeah.
And I did it. I passed.
Yeah. You did 3 papers that day, and you did your
the speaking.
Speaking.
A day before.
A day
I did
before.
a week before. A week before.
Okay.
A week before.
Mm-hmm.
So, babe, tell us about your own journey. I think you are the main applicant here.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of like. That's only this thing that I know I did. Like, okay, personally, this is what I did. So I think he has a lot of things to explain. I'll be sharing my own experience along the line. So, babe.
Yeah, I think we need to start from when we got married. I think because, like I said, that was when the whole idea of migrating expanded.
But your words were already there.
Yeah, so
married.
I already had my education evaluation because you need to have that. It is key for you to get into this journey. That has to be the first order you need to scale. And for me, that education assessment is very important because without it, you can practically do nothing. In fact, your whole plan could be messed up if you don't do that, right? We did your own, if you remember, we did it in 2019. We did it after COVID, when they relaxed COVID in 2020. The second one that went through. Just immediately after COVID, not immediately after COVID, when the lockdown was eased around July, August. That was when we did your WES, right? And then my own also, I sort of upgraded my WES because I had an additional qualification, so I upgraded it in the same period, right?
But babe, wait, I think before we got married, I think you've already done a process.
Yes, I have it already.
So what happened? Like, you've already done the process. You're about going, you're about.
Yeah. So that was before we got married. That was in 2015. So 2014, when we had, I got the information and I saw a couple of colleagues were traveling. What I did was I started the process then. So I got my WES, I did my Ielts, so I did my English test. When I got that, I applied, right? Mm-hmm. And then I also applied for a province, Saskatchewan to be precise. Yes. I applied for it and I got to the point whereby I was about to be nominated by that province. But in the process of reviewing my application, I was told that I did not submit a particular document.
Right.
So I was very surprised, like, what document were they referring to? And they said I didn't submit my passport. How can I not submit my passport out of all the documents that was required? So because of that, I was dropped. I wrote mail, I called, nothing happened in 2015. So that was how I lost the Saskatchewan and I stopped the whole process.
So based on what you just discussed, I think if you're in the right corner with right people, if you're in the right place with right people, I think you will get enough right information. Because I remember that when we started doing, back to 2018, when we started as a couple, we joined the Telegram group. And almost everybody there, we did DIY. So you do it yourself. Do it yourself. So almost everybody there were ready to do it yourself. You don't use any agents. We don't use any agent. So in that group, you'll be able to get enough information. Even when you are going through a little problem, once you just put it in the group, or once you search it on the group, somebody already asked about that problem.
Or somebody has the experience.
So you will just get it. So I want to emphasize on you joining Telegram groups, any group, WhatsApp, any good groups, not the one that are collecting money, the one that is DIY group. Just join and it will ease your journey one way or the other.
Exactly.
So,
very good point. You need to get information like every other day. You need that information, right? Trust me, that's all that you are about to get into, right? Somebody else probably has crossed that hurdle, so you can learn from that person and it will become much more easier. So information is key. So
over to your WES.
Yeah. So the whole, after the whole Saskatchewan thing, I moved on. I went on with my life, and because I had a new job, I had to concentrate. So Canada Dream, I just packed it at the side. But after we got married, 2019, the whole process, the whole motivation started again, right? Mind you, in 2020, you already had an education evaluation, usually through WES, World Educational Services or ICAS. I think there are about 2 bodies you can actually use. So, but we use WES. We are familiar with WES. WES at the time was, I can't remember the amount, but right now I know it's about 240 Canadian dollar for you to evaluate your credentials, educational credentials from your tertiary institution.
And the reason why we both did our WES was just to build the points.
Boost the points, right?
One person can do it, but we tried to use both of us education so we can boost our points. So if you're wondering why, so what is the WES?
Yeah, so like I did say, it's about 240 Canadian dollar now. This is in addition to the amount you pay at your school for processing and then sending it to Korea through DHL or UPS or FedEx, anyone you decide to use for anyone you decide to use at the end of the day. So in 2020, we were in the pool. In fact, from 2019, I was in the pool before all our WES education credentials and Ielts was ready. I was ready in the pool, but the score was low compared to what the draw at the time was. I think we are about 401. In fact, combined in 2020, our score in the express entry pool was about 401 or thereabout, which was not even close to. And if you remember, during COVID, they were not doing any draw at all.
Yes.
So there was no draw at all. So even if they are going to do any draw, the score was incredibly high. We could not even get there. But we stayed in the pool for as long as we could. Then, mind you, right, some of the key things you need to put in mind is that while you are in the pool, you need to ensure that you have a good source of fund, proof of fund. POF, it is important. And the reason why it's important is if you suddenly get a way, to be nominated, right, your proof of fund cannot be less than 6 months. It cannot be less than 6 months in whatever account or investment you try to show it. So let's say you get
gift card.
there are different ways, there are different sources of proof of fund, right? Some are your personal investment, your savings, your gift deed. Gift deed is something somebody gave to you in terms of money,
and you
have to show proof that the person has given it to you permanently without trying to come and collect it back in the future. So you have to prove that as well, right? And any other investment that can count as a proof of fund, right? Some people always say you need to be careful with these things, right? You need to be very careful with the proof of fund because that's one of the main reasons why some people get rejected.
You don't have to touch it. Don't spend it.
Because you need to start explaining, right? You need to start explaining how you got your proof of fund, whether it's from the express entry or from the provincial nomination, right?
And I noticed something about this proof of fund. I remember that while we were in the pool, my husband made sure that whatever we were saving, because we're a family of, as I know, we're a family of 3, and whatever we were saving was a little bit more than whatever they required of us.
We were already even planning for a family of 4 because we knew that we were going to be 4 at the end of the day. So we were already planning for 4.
Okay.
So if you already have in mind, like in the next couple of years, like you probably expand your family, start thinking about it, start thinking about that number.
And the particular money they ask you to save up, you can just put like some figure ahead, like a little. That's what my husband did.
Like 5% or 10%.
Yeah, because that's what my husband did. Because dollar now to naira.
Exactly.
So sometimes by the time the dollar will start
to manage the exchange rate. So for example, if a family of 4 is 24,000 Canadian dollar, you can decide to put it at maybe 26 or 27,000 dollars in terms of proof of fund. Because they did that in 2021, they sort of upgraded their proof of fund for the families, number of families. So
imagine we don't put
that extra, you probably affect one. So I'll go back to the process. The reason why we are trying to explain the proof of fund is because I know that's where most people find the biggest challenge, and that's what most people say, like, I don't have the proof of fund, I don't have the money.
And please note that this proof of fund is not for the Canadian government, it's for your own sake. Because when you get to Canada, you need fund. to be able to take care of yourself and
Mm-hmm.
your family, depending the time you'll be able to get
A
work,
job,
job or
and
stuff.
stabilize.
So it's for you. It's not for the Canada government.
Yeah.
So maybe you can continue.
Yeah. So the process of we got our WES, we got our IELTS. So remind you, your IELTS test of English expire like every two years.
Yes.
So if you are in the pool, you don't get nomination, you don't get invitation. You have to renew your IELTS.
And
Then
West is how many years? 5 years.
WES is about 5 years, but you can always update it with very little fund, very minimal fund. Maybe I don't know, maybe it's $50 or something. That's not too much. But for IELTS, I think at the time we were doing 56 or 67,000. In fact, at some point I was doing IELTS back to back to sort of improve the score. I would sort of I would apply for IELTS in British Council, and then I would also go to Mont and apply. So if the result come out this week is not good, I'll just go and write the other one.
I remember one that my husband did. It's in November 2020, and yeah, it's 2020 now, and he did pass. Like it's not. He didn't get the right score that he wanted. And he did this exam today. And when he saw the result, I was like, no, I didn't want this one. Immediately, he just applied for another one. I was like, but why are you?
I already booked. I just paid. I already booked for it.
Yeah, immediately. I just like maybe want to waste time. I thought because at least the things that he has read, he won't forget it.
The preparation, yeah.
And because of work now, so you just have to just do it back.
And I got that it. I got that it that I was looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah. So your IELTS is very important, and each time you need to renew it after every 2 years.
Ooh, eyes I can see you keeping me wavy. You
Artlist.io.
made of dreams.